Welcome, everyone, to Jus Dippin. My name is Zane Garcia,
And I am Shane Black.
and we are here to talk to you once again about movies, football, playing some video games, anything else we feel like talking about. So,
Whatever
whatever
we wanna
we
talk
want. So, start it off, Shane. What have you been watching, my man?
about.
You can start TV or movies.
TV wise, there's not a whole lot I've been watching. I finished the third season of BoJack Horseman.
Okay.
So, great show. Great season. There haven't really been a new show. Oh! What am I talking about? There has been a new show. I found a show called Ghost Adventures.
Ghost Adventures.
Have you heard of it?
I have not, actually.
It's one of those just stereotypical ghost investigation shows on the Travel Channel, but man, is it addicting. And it's kind of a tradition we have here at the house to every night we watch an episode or two and freak ourselves out.
Is it pretty freaky? I've seen a few of those type of shows. And
It can be freaky, but it's pretty humorous because the lead guy, his name's Zach Bagans, and he just...
That's a name right there.
Yeah, that's Zach Bagans, and he he dresses like a stereotypical late 90s douchebag who
so
loves
like me.
Creed, just like you. And has his hair gelled in faux hawks, wears tight shirts and baggy pants. And it's just really entertaining to watch him, but it's really it's an addicting show. I don't know why. Those things freak me out, but make me laugh at the same time.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. They're actually kind of freaky because I've watched a few where they're we're in the house, there might be a ghost, and then someone just steps on a board and it creaks, and they're like, I think it's over there.
They do that a lot. Where it's you hear a thud, it's oh my god, whoa! And one of my favorite parts is that they they try to differentiate themselves from other investigators by, we call it provocation, where they just provoke the ghost. So they'll just call it out. And it's hey, why don't you come talk to me? Why are you hiding? Don't be a pansy. And last night we watched
thing to do against a ghost.
Yeah, exactly. And last night they went to the Exorcist house, the episode we watched, which is
really?
The devil.
Yeah.
And they're hey, I'm not afraid of you. Come out here. It's that's probably not the best idea to do when you're taking on Satan himself. But yeah, other than that, it's really about it.
About it for TV?
Yeah, not really any shows. My roommate's been watching Dexter, so I've been catching some episodes here and there. And I'm thinking about getting into that show because it's pretty good from what I've seen.
Yeah, I watched the first half of the first season, and then they took it off Netflix for the first time. And then it was a year or two before I found out they put it back on, and by that point I was just so far out of it. But
yeah,
the first half of the first season was really good.
Yeah, I watched not most, but a few of the episodes of the first season. I like it a lot. I want to start from the beginning because I've heard a lot of people say good things about it. Although I did hear the ending kind of is lackluster.
I've heard that too, and I mean, a lot of shows' endings are. It's hard to end a show that goes on for so long.
Yeah, I mean, there's very few shows I feel that adequately wrap it up in the finale.
Yeah. Last episode we talked about Parks and Rec and The Office wrapping it up nicely, but especially with those drama shows, it's really hard. I was very into the show True Blood.
Oh yeah,
it had a pretty just droll ending.
Yeah, I mean, the only series I feel that's in that vein that pulled it off was Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad,
but I feel
really
that's
good
just
job.
because Breaking Bad they had an idea of where they wanted to go when they started it. Whereas a lot of shows I feel they get the idea, make the pilot, takes off, and then they're kind of oh well, I don't know what to do after this.
Yeah, no, and some shows I feel like this definitely happened with How I Met Your Mother, where they had an idea that all right, we got 5 seasons worth of stuff we want to get through, and that's our arc, and then they ended up doing 9 seasons, and so they had to fill 4 seasons with things and still end up where they wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of shows that happens to. Success definitely happens to them. So.
They kind of write them because they're successful. They write themselves into a corner that they can't get out of. Yeah, I feel that happens a lot. I don't know what's going on with this game. I'm trying to play Battlefield 1 right now, and it's just not working for me. But anyway.
I know I am horrible at video games, unless it has Batman in it.
I do have the Batman.
I do have the Batman games. But also, like Shane can play the video game and talk about other things. I have to play the video game, and I only am focusing on the video game.
On the video game.
Yeah, but TV shows. I've actually been watching a few TV shows. Start with talked about the night of.
That just ended, right?
That just ended. Saw the ending, and it kind of got a little worse as it went on. Because the way it started as this very like realistic, different take on like the procedural like cop shows and like Law and Order type systems and stuff. And so it was a very like realistic take, and really shows like how much time like someone who is convicted of a crime spends in just like the general jail precinct before anyone comes to talk to them. The way that cops kind of move around their rights and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, as the show went on, it kind of fell into just any other procedural show. And they threw in a lot of stuff, and they didn't fully flesh out some ideas. They spent a lot of time. The main lawyer, John Turturro. So the story, if you forgot about, I think I kind of briefed over it last time.
Yeah, I think so.
But this kid named Nazir gets arrested. He takes a taxi cab to go to a party, and then a girl ends up getting in the taxi cab because he doesn't know how to turn off the on-duty light. So a girl gets in, and he's like, "Whoa, girl," as any of us would do.
Obviously.
And so then he ends up having like a great night with this girl. She gives him a lot of drugs. He's really drugged up. And they end up having sex. And then he wakes up and goes to like get his clothes and say goodbye to her in the morning, and she ends up dead. She's stabbed like 22 times.
Good God.
And yeah, he opens the light and he's like, "Oh shit." And, and then freaks out and doesn't call the cops and just runs out. And then gets pulled over because he does an illegal left turn. And then eventually gets taken into the precinct, and they find a knife in his pocket and whatnot.
Okay.
And so then he's on trial for this, and he doesn't remember doing anything. And so then John Turturro comes, and he's just kind of like he's a lawyer that usually works for criminals and helps them to take a plea deal.
Okay.
So he can get a quick paycheck, and they don't go to jail for the rest of their life. And so he's not necessarily, I guess, in the moral eyes, a good guy, because he knows people are doing these horrible crimes, and he defends them anyway. But that is the justice system, and that is the job of a defense lawyer. But so his character is helping out this guy, and he honestly believes he's innocent, and so they make a point of it that he's like, "This is the first case I've thought that he was innocent." And John Turturro, and great acting in this show. Everyone, like, literally everyone in the show was phenomenal at their role. Played the role to the best they're, like, I can't think of anyone playing the roles better. But John Turturro did a great job. But he has eczema in the show.
Okay.
And as the show kind of develops, you're like, all right, eczema is kind of a metaphor for like the criminal justice system. This thing that everyone's got an opinion on how to fix, but there's no real set answer of how to fix it. But they spend just so much time on this eczema. Like, you're just like, okay, let's get off the eczema. Like,
we get it.
Kid is in jail. Like,
No. The eczema.
Yeah, and so I think they just spent a little too much time on certain things, and their initial plan kind of fell by the wayside. But overall, I would recommend watching it. Like I said, good performances. Just don't expect like a whole like True Detective thing where it's like a different take on a familiar topic. And then another show I've been watching was a Netflix original one that came out. It's called The Get Down.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, everyone was talking to me about Stranger Things, and the thing with me is I want to be up with the hippity, you know? I want to be along with the kids, but if people tell me too many things about something, then I'm like, no, I want to rebel. I'm not going to join the system. And so Stranger Things has kind of become that. I understand it's probably a great show, and I'll watch it eventually, but for the time being, I was like, no, I'm going to watch something else. So
I'm going to fight against it.
I'm going to fight against it, damn it. So watch The Get Down. And Get Down is a show created by Baz Luhrmann, director of Gatsby.
Okay, yeah, I do remember this show now.
Yeah, and it's kind of about, I don't know the exact time frame, I want to say 70s, when disco was huge and hip-hop's just starting to come into like the limelight.
Okay.
And it's about these teenagers living in the Bronx, and they're all, like, Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, is in it.
Oh, really?
Playing a graffiti artist. And he actually does a decent job.
Really?
Because he doesn't have a big role. So, he has a role of a very spacey kid, and he plays it amazingly. And I'm sure he thought he was doing art, but they just pointed the camera. They're like, just say this line the most basic way. And he's like, all right.
They just told him.
They just
like,
told him.
Oh, you're doing great, Jaden.
You're doing great.
Love it.
And yeah, he fits the role. Everyone else in the show does amazing,
Okay.
and it's about this one kid who's a really good poet, and he doesn't necessarily want to do poetry. He's trying to figure out a way to really release his
Mhm.
talent and his way with words out into the world, and he finally finds that with rap, and he meets this
Okay.
DJ who's trying to be a big like disco DJ,
Okay.
and there's this group of girls that Jaden Smith's character, his sister is one of these girls,
Uh huh.
and then another girl is dating this main guy, the poet,
Mhm.
and so that's how they all connect. And she's trying to be a big like disco singer. She's a
Okay.
really good singer. All three of the girls are great singers. Um, and so it's about them just trying to make it in the whole story of like get out of the Bronx type thing.
Okay.
I will say the first episode is all over the place, as many Baz Luhrmann like films are in the first
Yeah.
like half, where he's just throwing characters at you without a whole lot of context and without a whole lot of just like here's this character.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
become important here in like 20 minutes. And so for the time being, like,
Just give me a second.
what the fuck just happened? And so if you give the show like a half an hour,
Uh-huh.
and the first episode's like an hour and 45 minutes, like a
Mhm.
movie length.
Okay.
And it's 6 episodes, and they all are an hour after that.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just kind of give the show some time and really just let it build on you, it's really good, really
Nice.
well
I'll have
thought
to
out.
check that out.
Definitely, soundtrack is really good. They put the Star Wars theme music in it at one point in the last episode, and I was like, yes.
It sounds like
Yeah.
Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah.
He usually has freaking awesome soundtracks.
Yeah. So definitely recommend the Get Down.
all right. All right.
Yeah, and then another show I've been watching. I watch Hard Knocks every year.
I just need to catch up on that.
HBO does such a good job with that show.
Yeah. I watched last season, and that was great.
Yeah, last season was amazing because they had like some real stars on that
Yeah.
team. And
Like
with,
Watt and
yeah, you got Watt, you
Hopkins.
like Hopkins, and Vince Wilfork,
uh-huh.
who's not necessarily a star anymore.
But he's
I
well
don't think.
known.
But he's well known, and
very
he's
well known.
hilarious.
Yeah.
When he came out in the freaking overalls
Yeah.
last season. But yeah, in Los Angeles now. Sorry, my God.
Careful there.
Yeah, so,
It's a
Los
sore
Angeles Rams
subject.
now. They don't really have that huge star. They had some storylines of like the team's going back to Los Angeles. They had the number 1 draft pick in Goff, and they got this amazing running back Todd Gurley and a decent enough defense. And but HBO does such a good job of just making it interesting.
Yeah.
And I love when they show like the players' outside lives, because I think of like players of like 24/7 football.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you see a lot of these guys have kids, and a lot of these guys, like there's a center on the show, the center for the Rams right now. Great character. He's a big like bro guy. So like first episode, he's like taking 10 minutes talking about bro tanks, and so it's pretty funny. And then it goes to his wife who has 2 kids, and she's like, "Yeah, we've been bouncing around 4 teams in the last 2 years." And she's like, it's really
Jeez.
hard because the next team I think is the 1, and I gotta buy a house, and then he gets cut the next day. And I'm like, oh wow, I love hearing about those stories in the NFL.
Yeah, it's also like that's the hard part of the show. Is
Yeah.
watching these players who, like, they're not the stars. They're not a star player, and they're just trying to make a team, and they put everything they got into it, and they get cut.
Yeah,
And that's why the hardest part is watching because you actually see the players get cut in the office, and that's brutal to
And
watch.
yeah, a lot of them with their emotions, and they're asking like, I thought I was doing good, I thought I was like progressing and stuff, and they're like, hey, you're just not the right guy for this team. Yeah, and that happens to most of the players, and the show does a good job of kind of focusing on those players. As fun as it is to see like the stars like Todd Gurley or like J.J. Watt or something, those are the guys that aren't as interesting because it's fun to see them make big plays in practice.
But we already know their stories.
Yeah, exactly.
You hear about them all the time during the season.
Yeah, and so it's fun to just kind of see them be there. But the real stories is in these rookies or these guys who have bounced around team to team and are just trying to make a roster.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's really good. 1 episode left in that season. They played. They did the Broncos game.
I was at that game.
You were at that game.
Yeah,
Very
so
nice.
I want to catch up. See if maybe I make an appearance.
Oh yeah. I'll have to go rewatch. Maybe you did.
Just zoom in on my face.
If you were sitting next to one of the players' girlfriends or something.
Sitting next to my mom, so I don't think so.
Oh well, maybe like someone around.
I don't think the girls I was sitting next to knew what they were talking about either.
Oh, okay.
Because there was one part where we're on offense and the Rams quarterback like dropped an interception, and she's like, "Totally don't know what he's doing right now." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then there's a time where the Rams ran it with like Gurley or someone, and one of them just goes, man, Hillman just can't get it going today.
Hillman
And I was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you
that's
talking
hilarious.
about?
Yeah.
Oh man! And every time they like complete a pass, just go wide fucking open. And those are so hard not to just laugh at them because they're saying the most ridiculous stuff.
Oh man, I do enjoy sitting at like football games with people who don't know football.
Yeah. Wide fucking open.
Yeah, got a lot of football news today, but let's go movies real quick, and then
Okay.
we'll get to football a little later.
My big movie
yes.
right now, Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe. Yes,
Seen
yes.
it twice.
It is like the big movie right now.
It
too.
is incredible.
Really.
Hands
Okay.
down, one of the best thrillers I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
So good. You saw the Evil Dead remake, right? So
I
like
did.
You've seen Fede Alvarez's like last film.
Yeah.
Another film that I loved. I loved that movie. Thought it was great.
Yeah, I'm actually not a huge horror fan, and I thought the Evil Dead remake was really well done.
But apparently, a lot of the criticisms it got were, one, it was a remake. Two, very bloody. Very bloody.
I mean, you know what you're getting into, people.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the last one was just too graphic. But this, so like when he heard that criticism, Fede Alvarez was just like, all right, I'll make a movie that doesn't have any of that. So like this movie, it's not a remake, completely original, no blood, but it's rare that I see a movie that is so tense from start to finish. Like
Really?
It does not let up for the whole runtime. And there's this one like single take that they have in it where everything that the camera like moves around comes into play later.
Oh, okay.
So like there's not like every single shot and scene is like important and meaningful. And I can't recommend it enough. I've seen it twice now and I've loved it each time.
Okay.
It's just it's genius. I don't like it's really hard to I don't want to say anything to spoil it because it plays with your sympathies and your emotions and you're not exactly sure who's in the right.
Oh, okay. Good.
And it just kind of leaves you questioning a lot of stuff, but man, it is fantastic.
Yeah,
Might be my favorite film of the year so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Definitely make that top 10 at the end of the year.
Oh yeah,
that we always do.
it'll be there.
Okay.
Without a doubt, it'll be there.
We actually have a platform to do the top 10 on now.
Yeah. Hey.
More than just annoying our Facebook friends.
We'll still do that.
Well, yeah, we'll still be on there, but
and most of our Facebook friends will probably watch this, so
hopefully,
they get it twice.
Hopefully, you better watch it.
You better watch it, guys.
Better watch it.
I know most of you.
I know most of you. Yeah, so Don't Breathe. It was it's actually the #1 film right now.
Yeah.
And one of the more successful films of the year. Most successful horror/thriller film.
Definitely.
Did better than Lights Out, better than 10 Cloverfield Lane already. Which is probably 10 Cloverfield Lane, one of my favorites of the year so
great
far.
film. Great film.
But yeah, it also beat out Suicide Squad for the #1 spot in the box office. So it's doing amazing. Everyone who's got like back end money on that thing is gonna make a bunch of money.
Oh yeah.
So it's good to hear. And like when I heard of it, when I saw the first trailer, I was like, what a great idea for a movie.
Yeah.
Like great way to use like cinema as a platform to tell that story.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, the only thing that deterred me away was I don't really remember like the trailer to see if they cleared this up, but it felt like they were breaking into a house, and then I was supposed to fear the guy that was like in the house, and I was like, well, they're the ones breaking in. Like this guy's just defending himself.
Exactly.
But you say that
it kind of
flip
flips
flops
things
a little bit.
Okay.
Okay,
So
good.
Yeah, there is some crazy stuff that happens in the movie.
Oh God, I want to see the movie now.
Yeah,
I was gonna wait for it, but I was waiting for your review, really, actually. So I'm glad to hear.
See it.
See it, yeah.
It is a must see.
Okay. Any other movies you've seen? Is that
that was the last one I saw in theaters.
Okay.
I think the one before that I saw was Star Trek Beyond, which was surprisingly very good.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoyed that movie.
Right,
I was a fan of the first two. I didn't really watch the old shows or the old movies, so I'm not one of those diehard Trekkies.
Not a Trekkie, yeah.
I really enjoyed what J.J. Abrams did with it. I liked how in the first one he did the time travel thing, so it was like alternate dimension.
Oh, okay.
So it was like he could do what he wanted while not changing the original.
Oh.
While still respecting it. Have you seen the other two?
I haven't seen the first one. I saw Into Darkness for a sci-fi film class in college, and I really liked it. And then everyone came in and we like talked about it, and everyone's like, "What was that? It was awful." And I was like, "Well, I liked it."
Yeah, it got like slammed by a lot of people. I thought it was great. I loved it. Thought Benedict Cumberbatch was great as always.
Yeah,
But
I'm actually not a huge Cumberbatch fan. But no, it's like, all right, he did all right. He's a great actor. I understand he's a great actor. It's just something about him I can't stand. Like,
so you probably won't be seeing Doctor Strange.
no.
Midnight Show.
Or I didn't see the Imitation Game. Everyone kept telling me, like, oh, it's great, man. Like, it deserves all these awards. And I was like, no, it doesn't, damn it.
But, yeah, so, like, the first one, kind of how it works out is, like, the villain of the movie had, like, done some weird time thing, so it created this alternate timeline, which is where that movie takes place.
Oh, okay.
But then Leonard Nimoy's Spock actually, like, gets stuck in that timeline.
Oh.
And is kind of like a mentor
Nimoy.
to Zachary Quinto's Spock.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So that's kind of the creative way they went about doing that. But the third one is really good, actually. It's pretty simple. It's Justin Lin, who is known for Fast and Furious, made it. And you can definitely see that Fast and Furious feel to it. But, like, I loved it. I really did. I really enjoyed it. A lot of good action.
Good.
Yeah,
Nice.
pretty good story.
Chris Pine.
Chris
Okay,
Pine.
Chris Pine. Yeah.
Chris Pine's good. Carl Urban's good.
Mm.
Simon Pegg, great as always.
Simon Pegg. Anton Yelchin's.
Anton. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
To see him after knowing what happened.
Yeah.
Because I forgot he was in it, and then when
then
he
you
came
see
on,
his
I was like,
face, yeah.
oh, right, that happened.
Yeah. It is always kind of weird seeing it. Like, The Dark Knight was like that,
Mhm.
where you're watching him give this great performance, and it's just kind of haunting in the back of your mind, especially with a role like the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just so haunting. You're like, wow, he threw it all into this one.
Because that role added to his, why he kind of OD'd.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
So, yeah, that's...
We don't know.
But, yeah, I recommend it. It's not in theaters anymore, I'm sure. So, like, when it comes out, if you guys check it out, it's a good blockbuster. Yeah, just afternoon, want to watch something. It's mindless, not a whole lot of thought to it.
Okay, gotcha. Good, like popcorn.
Yeah. How about you? What movies have you seen?
Gotcha. There's actually 3 I've seen that I wanted to talk about.
Oh,
One
man.
was just I was at Best Buy and it was an impulse buy.
Okay.
It was Batman: The Killing Joke. The
okay.
animated movie
You got
of
that.
it. Yeah, I just impulse bought it, the like Blu-ray DVD. I was like, why not? And watched it, and I think it works better as a comic book. Honestly,
That's what I hear.
It didn't do the same in a movie. Like,
you've read the comic book, right?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, one of the greatest comic books ever.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But yeah, it just didn't. It felt like I was, like it felt like the way I would have made it, which is just like piece by piece of the comic book, and they added this whole like
Batgirl at the beginning, right? Where her
There's
and
like a whole
Batman are like
20 to 30 minute Batgirl
lovers, right? Aren't her and Batman lovers at the beginning?
Oh yeah, and I was like, whoa, that is not
Yeah.
that is not in any comic book I ever read, and I was like, all right, it's open to interpretation, but I just didn't think that was the platform to do that interpretation on.
Yeah.
And it made it more heartfelt when, spoiler alert, in The Killing Joke, Joker goes and paralyzes
Barbara Gordon,
Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, and does or does not sexually assault her.
That is left up to interpretation.
Well, in the comic book it is.
Yeah.
In the movie, they have a whole scene that I failed to go back and look at the book to see if this was actually in there, but Batman's talking to a bunch of like, I assume hookers, and he's like, where's the Joker? And they're like, he usually comes here first thing, he must have found someone else, and it's after that whole thing happened, and I was like, oh god, like, they're really laying it out there, yeah. So yeah, the first like, and it's kind of slow, the Batgirl stuff, it's very character building,
Yeah.
but my complaint with it is that they build Batgirl to this character point, and then and you've read the comic. Anyone that's read the comic knows that Batgirl's really only in it when she gets shot.
Yeah.
And that does kind of open leeway for him to take Gordon and stuff. But yeah, they build like that was her arc almost.
And then she's.
And then and then it goes into the comic.
Yeah.
And so I thought if you're gonna do that, like, I don't know, throw more of the Joker in the first part.
Yeah.
Or throw more building up to this Joker moment.
Yeah. Instead of kind of and you just jump to this new story.
Yeah, and it's almost completely different because then it's not even about like you understand the motivation for him. He's like, oh, he really like he was in love with Batgirl and now he's got to go get the Joker for this reason. But in the book, it was more that like you got the feeling that they had been doing like this was like not too long before like Dark Knight Returns Batman. like he's been doing this for a while and he's fed up with the Joker. And so when he takes Gordon, like shoots Barbara, that was enough for him to be like, all right, I'm thrown over the edge. And in the book, it opens with him going to the jail saying like, I've been thinking about us and how this is all going to end. And they still have that moment, but it's after like the whole Barbara Gordon thing, and you're just like, why did this make him think of the Joker?
Yeah.
And so it was very, and they kind of build up to it. There's a moment where he's like, you don't want to go like past the limit.
Yeah.
And Batgirl's like, you're right. I saw what happens goes past the limit. And you can kind of be like, all right, so that's what made him think of the Joker. But yeah, so overall, I think it just works better as a comic book.
Yeah. That's what I hear.
Yeah, great voice performances as always by Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. I'm super glad the whole One Bad Day monologue where Batman's like looking for him and stuff, and the whole like fight at the end was great. The very ending, like the whole part where they're laughing together, just didn't play very well on film.
Yeah.
Plays a lot better, and a lot of it, like I think that whole story just plays better when you have the time to examine every like frame in the book and just kind of see all the artwork, and like when he comes out of the bath when they're doing the backstory, when he takes the hood off and is like laughing as the Joker, like that, it didn't hold the same appeal because you don't have the ha ha ha's like all around his face like in that panel in the book is so one of like the most famous panels in my mind.
Is that the one where he's like has his
where he's like
that?
Got his head like that and the ha ha ha's are all around his head. So
that's a very famous comic book panel.
Yeah. Overall, if you're a Batman fan, absolutely like check it out at Redbox. I don't know if I would. If you're not a huge Batman fan, I wouldn't recommend buying it. It's not as good as like the other animated ones they've done, like
Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns animated was great. Under the Red Hood was a great animated one. Batman Year One I thought was a good animated one.
Yeah, that is good. That's also a really good comic book.
Yeah, all those great comic books. Yeah, so the other two movies I saw were Kubo and the Two Strings and War Dogs. And Kubo and the Two Strings was one I was listening to, reading like reviews on it and stuff, and everyone was like just praising this very highly. And so I was really excited to see it. And it was one, I forget the studio, but it's the same studio that did Coraline and Frankenweenie.
Frankenweenie. The Tim Burton
Is that the one they did?
Yeah, I think so.
And so, like Coraline, it was that same kind of like made out of paper and clay models and stop motion. And so animation is just amazing in it. And the story is really good. A very, really like original animated film, and a lot of it based in a culture that I am not familiar with. So a lot of it, I think I was like, wow, that's really cool. But a lot of it, like other people might have been like, whoa, they're pulling that out of the bag. And overall, it wasn't like someone said it was the best animated movie of all time. So I was like, all right, I got to check this out if that's the claim. And I wouldn't say it was the best animated movie of all time, but it was very visually pleasing. Yeah. The story is very much just a hero's journey. Goes beat by beat with the hero's journey. And it's been getting a lot of flack because it's a very, like, based in Asian culture, and the voices they get are a kid that plays one of the Stark boys in Game of Thrones. Charlize Theron and Matthew McConaughey and Ray Fiennes are like the four characters in this movie. Yeah. And so very white people. So they got a lot of flack for that. But honestly, whitewashed, yeah. And the big thing that the studio, like the filmmakers came out with was they're like, we knew we had a good story on our hands and we just needed to get it out there a little more. And so put some big Hollywood names in there. Yeah. And unfortunately is not doing great at the box office. So in the future, I think that's good for the future for whitewashing, that they're like, all right, it doesn't really work, so we might as well put like the right actors in there. Yeah. However, I thought the voice work was amazing. Yeah. Charlize Theron's character plays the mother of Kubo. Okay. And has a terrible accent in the beginning and has a condition where during the daylight she's just like essentially in a coma. Okay. And Kubo has to feed her and stuff, and then at night she's back to normal. Okay. And there's this whole story of Kubo's got, his father was this great warrior and had this suit of armor, had a like unbreakable sword, some like impenetrable armor, and a helmet that did something. I forgot what the helmet was doing. And so the story is he's got to go and find all this stuff because he's got these two very like haunting aunts that are coming to kill him essentially. Okay. And his grandfather's out there too, and so it's very like you can kind of guess what's going to happen as the
Yeah.
movie goes. So very predictable if you know like a hero's journey and all the beats that go into that. But still very well done. I'd recommend like if you got kids or something, take your kids to it. If you like animated movies, just go and see it yourself. But yeah, I was slightly let down just because everyone is like, it's the best movie ever.
Yeah.
So slightly let down, but as for movies go, still a great movie. Still very well done. Visually pleasing, very visually pleasing.
Okay.
But yeah, back to Charlize Theron and like just such a motherly like performance. And there's moments where she's like, I gotta kick some ass, and she kicks some ass. And there's other moments where she's like being really like she's got a
sweet,
very sweet and genuine, and I don't know, I loved it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then War Dogs. That's been one of my favorite movies of the year so far.
So good.
Very good, very good. I love it.
I really want to see it.
Yeah, and Todd Phillips, Hangover guy, directed it.
Yeah, I really want to see him kind of make a good movie.
Yeah.
You know.
And something I was afraid of that kind of happened in it. I thought it was the whole like, oh, he's trying to be Adam McKay. He's trying to go do a serious movie when he's known for these comedy movies. And it looked a lot like Wolf of Wall Street. Okay. And I was like, you even got Jonah Hill playing like the goofy side character. And it does kind of go into that at moments, but it also takes on a life of its own.
That's good.
Todd Phillips really creates the story to his own thing. Very Scorsese-esque in that it's got like an amazing soundtrack, and that like he really uses the soundtrack to spotlight moments and really slows the movie down to play this song over a moment, and has a nice effect like Scorsese does. Of course, no one would do Scorsese like Scorsese.
Well, no.
So if you're looking for like, if you're like, I want to watch another Wolf of Wall Street, I'd recommend just watching Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
But Jonah Hill, like in this movie,
great.
Man. Yeah, he's just so good in this movie. He has this goofy laugh. It's like a very high pitch, like this, ha 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 ha, and it just every time it just cracked me up. And he goes from being like this kind of goofy guy at times to like very serious and very scary. And you're like, whoa, this is, and that's kind of how the movie goes. And it's got a lot of criticism for that it goes from being like this very good, like almost Hangover-esque, where it's just good fun and games, to very serious, like a very like to a point where like, oh shit is going down, and these characters are in some serious shit. But yeah, so great, and Miles Teller does great. The thing with Miles Teller is I know he's got more in his arsenal. And I'd want to see him go do a role that implies him to do more. Like Whiplash was a version of that where he wasn't talking all the time. He wasn't the smooth talker guy. He was just a kid, like just trying to make it in drumming. And he's got one coming out called Bleed for This, where I think he's gonna take it to the next level. Maybe get nominated for an Oscar. I don't know. I think it'll draw some award attention. Whether that gets fleshed out to a nomination or something, that is beyond me. I don't know. But I think it'll definitely be in that conversation. Where he's kind of being more character-y and less just straight Miles Teller. So, and that's the only thing with this one. He's straight Miles Teller again, which is not bad. Great actor. Fun to watch him be him.
But he's capable of more.
But I know he's capable of more. I know he can like just get to that. I want to see him do more of that stuff. Whereas Jonah Hill, every time there wasn't a moment in this movie where I was like, that's Jonah Hill doing this. Like from the moment he's in to the moment the film ends, I'm like, this is the guy he's playing. Like
Jonah Hill's just so good.
And that's how it was in Wolf of Wall Street and even Superbad, like where even his goofier kind of roles, like even like This Is the End, where he's playing Jonah Hill. I was like, he is so much different from every other role, and he's really invested in this.
I actually just watched The Watch recently. Have
you
seen that?
Yes.
God, I love that movie. It is
it's
one of the stupidest movies I've ever seen, but man, is it funny. And he especially he like steals every scene he's in.
Oh my goodness.
When he kicks in the door and flips
flip
off his mom as he walks by, that gets me every time.
Yeah, even just like little stuff in that movie, like Vince Vaughn's talking to him about one thing, and he's just like, "I'm so fucking far ahead of you, man." Just
or when he's like Vince Vaughn trying to get him to come into his house, and Vince was like, "No, come here, come here." And he's like, like a dog.
Oh
man,
like,
I love you, man. But I mean, like, pats Vince Vaughn's heart and walks in the house. I love it.
I live here. Oh man.
Yeah, I'll have to check out War Dogs.
Yeah, War Dogs, definitely check that out. Another movie I watched just last night while we're talking about just stupid movies you've seen. Another Ben Stiller movie, by the way. Tropic Thunder was on
Oh
last night.
God, I
TV.
love
Yeah.
that movie.
I forget
so good.
like everyone in that movie just firing on all cylinders.
Oh,
with that.
Robert
like,
Downey Jr. is
Robert Downey Jr. Even
perfect.
McConaughey.
Yeah.
Like before he was like the McConaissance happened.
Yeah.
Like tugboat, gotta get your TiVo.
Or Tom Cruise. Is
Oh yeah,
fantastic
yeah.
in
We
that
forget
movie.
Tom Cruise. Yeah.
My favorite line of that movie is RDJ and Ben Stiller's running to the chopper, and Robert Downey just goes, "Survive!" just randomly out of nowhere. So good.
I think my favorite is when Tom Cruise is talking with the drug lords that have Ben Stiller, and they're demanding money, and he's like, "All right, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face." It was so unexpected. Just
or Jack Black addicted to heroin.
Oh yeah,
like,
I caught like the end of it
right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I caught right at the beginning of that scene. Is I'll suck your dick right now.
Oh man, that's a great movie.
Oh man, yeah.
So good.
So yeah, if you haven't seen those two movies, see those.
You got to see them.
Yeah. Also, Kubo and the Two Strings and War Dogs. Catch them. War Dogs, I would recommend. Catch them while it's in theaters. Like, there's a lot of big like moment scenes, and it really plays well on the big screen. So.
All right, I'll have to check that out while it's still in theaters.
Yeah.
Should we move on to sports?
Move on to sports. That's all I got for movies.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Other than editing Miracle Worker 3. Catch
Miracle
that when
Worker
it comes
3,
out.
It's coming. Yeah.
Movie
all
of the
over
year.
Your face, neck, and chest.
Everywhere. Anyway, sports.
Sports, yeah, sports.
Sports.
Broncos. Champions.
So tell me, what are your Broncos news to talk about?
Broncos news?
Or sports, I should say.
I was just going to talk about how the preseason's been going. Last time we talked, the first preseason game had been played. A lot of stuff has gone on since then.
Yeah.
Obviously. In 49er land, the whole Kaepernick situation, which...
overblown in my opinion.
Yes, regardless how you feel about it, overblown to the nth degree. Like, even if you're with him, against him, you don't care either way. You're just like, get it out of the news. Why are we... Why is this... It's so random what things get blown up in the news. And, like,
and what doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, the fact that he had been doing this for... Like, this is the third game he did this, and someone finally took a picture of it and posted it online. And then everyone's like, wait a minute!
Whoa!
Yeah, and then everyone just kind of... People have stopped realizing people's opinions and just take everything as like, this is what I stand behind 100%, and like, or just like noticing something like that. I don't know. It annoys me that things like that.
It's just another example of what is just so frustrating with people these days.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
But yeah, how do you feel about the Broncos so far? Trevor Siemian, starting quarterback.
I'm happy. I think they played pretty well again in the preseason. The 49ers game, if they hadn't freaking put Ponder in against the third string defense, I think we would have had it. But when he went in, I was like, come on!
Yeah, and he does that 20-yard touchdown. I was jumping up and down. I was like, Ponder, yes!
I was like,
I bet he gets cut still.
Poor guy, he'll get cut still. But
even
with
Minnesota
that
takes him back. I don't know.
Minnesota, wow, what a mess that is. But
we'll get to that in a minute here.
Broncos, I love. Defense has looked fantastic. All depth of the defense has looked great. Vaughn killing it. Freaking sacking a guy just by yanking him down in the Rams game.
Just grabbing a shirt,
I was at that game in Lower Bowl, right there at that end zone, so that was awesome.
Yeah, Vaughn is just unhumanly fast and strong, and just
like watching him just like
of nature,
jump off that line is insane.
Like JJ Watt is great, and JJ Watt is more like a power tool where he like, but Vaughn is so quick. Like Vaughn will get behind someone before they even know what's happening.
Yeah, before they even turn.
Yeah, and then if it comes to it, Vaughn can still just bull rush through someone.
Oh yeah, And I know a lot of people were worried about, he had this incredibly busy offseason, Dancing with the Stars, all these talk shows, all these vacations, and then got the big contract. Yeah. And people were worried about if he'd come back and kind of have a dip in quality. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far,
he's picked up
he's
right where he
left off.
He And he's once again I think he's gonna be the deciding factor in that opener against Carolina.
Yeah.
Because if he can do what he did in the Super Bowl, I think we'll be okay. Because our offense seems to be working equally, if not even slightly better than our offense was at the end of last season.
Yeah, and they're doing very similar things where they're more run heavy and they're just
going to the tight end.
Yeah, clock eaters as well.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
They're taking long drives. Even if it ends up in a punt, they're taking at least like 6-7 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, and our receivers are coming up clutch still. Sanders, DT, amazing. Man, he is
that one-handed catch in that
beautiful.
Rams game,
there's another play where he caught it. Him and the defender both kind of caught it, and he just was like yanking the defender with him towards the first down, and that was great to see, because he definitely had a tough season last year. But it certainly seems like he's kind of turning it back on again, because he has the potential, in my opinion, to be the best receiver in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. And in that Rams game, he had a few
drops at the beginning.
Few drops, but yeah, he kind of caught on.
Oh yeah.
And I think once the season starts, he'll really. And I think the passing game will be a little stronger. Just because once people realized Peyton Manning wasn't the same Peyton Manning last year, they really kind of they're like, all right, throw it. We don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Simeon certainly can throw it. He has an arm. Yeah. His accuracy sometimes can waver, but he can definitely.
Sometimes they're kind of decision making. Yeah. But I think that'll. And I've noticed in the preseason he kind of calculates his throws to where as soon as he's dropping back or rolling out or something, he's looking at the receiver he's going to throw to.
Yeah.
And if it's there, he'll throw it. If it's not there, he might run or still try to throw it. And that's exactly what happened in that 49ers game with the interception. Eric Reed, who is an amazing safety, just finally caught on. He's like, oh, he's going to throw there, and he jumped the route. And so that's one thing I'm worried about in the opener is Carolina's got an amazing defense. Yeah. And if he's calculating throws like that, they're going to catch on.
And that's what made Peyton so great, is that he could go through his receivers so quickly. First guy not open, second guy not open, third guy, let's go to him.
Yeah, and Peyton Manning by that point had been so knew the playbook, just so smart that he knows, all right, at this point that guy should be there, and if he's there, I'll throw it. If he's not, so I think for Peyton it was easier because he could just kind of scan, and he already knows the beats where it's going to happen. Where Simeon's still fairly new, second or third year, I don't know.
I think this is he's a second season with us. I'm pretty sure we got him.
So they drafted him 7th round, I believe.
Yeah, and so second year in the league.
Second year. So he still got a lot of things to learn, and that'll get fixed. But
he's looked great. He really has looked pretty good. He's looked solid. And that being said, though, I really don't want to cut Sanchez. I don't want to cut him because if something happens, Simeon doesn't perform well, he gets injured, something like that, I don't want to fall back on Paxton Lynch quite yet. Because he's still a rookie and he's looked good, but he's played against third-string defenses and he has made some mistakes. Yeah. And I think it's good to have a player with the experience that Sanchez has had, regardless of his history and what he's done, the butt fumble, his decision-making. I still think he's a reliable backup. And even I just feel like Sanchez hasn't gotten a fair shot. He played the first game against the Bears, and I thought he played really well. And when he went out to that first quarter, got that great touchdown to DT.
Had that one interception that we talked about last show, was not necessarily his fault. Great play by the Bears linebacker, cornerback, whoever it was.
And then the 49ers game, he had those couple of fumbles, but one of them, in my opinion, wasn't his fault. When those fumbles when he's going back to throw and the defender just reached in. He's focused on doing his job. Yeah, that's the O-line not doing their job. And between those two games, in my opinion, it was whoever was behind the first string offensive line played the best.
Oh, okay.
And so I just feel like he never got a chance to play behind that O-line again.
Gotcha.
He had those couple of fumbles, and suddenly he was out. And I don't know. In my opinion, Simeon threw a pick 6 in the 49ers game. He also had these turnovers. So why did he not get that kind of punishment too? Is my questioning. So I just for the sake of him, I like Sanchez. I think he's a really good guy. Hold on, we have more video issues, so I'm gonna try to fix that again. I like Sanchez. I think he's a good guy. He seemed to. Oh, the memory card's full, so we're just going to go audio for the rest of this.
All right.
He's a good player. He really is. His career's kind of been defined by peaks and then valleys. You know, he'll show sparks of greatness, then he'll make a really stupid mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's gone to 2 AFC championships, one of which was his rookie year, which is not easy to do.
And in a very similar system as the Broncos have. I would say this Broncos defense is better than that Jets defense was. But yeah, it's kind of the same style, like of football that they were playing. So yeah, I think Sanchez could be successful. And I do agree with you. I think he kind of has a stigma against him now.
He has a reputation, unfortunately.
Yeah. And he's a great in between the 20s quarterback, but unfortunately, once he gets in the red zone is where things start happening. And it's just this weird, like, anomaly of, like, once he got in the red zone against the 49ers, that's when all these fumbles happen. Like, but yeah, as you saw in the Bears, he drove them all the way down. Drove them.
Hopefully, though, I mean, if we keep him, our run game in the red zone will be strong enough that we don't have to worry about that. Because CJ is a great running back.
CJ is, and I'm hoping he plays well a full season. In the past, he's kind of started off slow and then got better as it went.
Well, hopefully, because last season he was injured at the beginning slightly.
Oh,
if I remember
was he?
correctly.
I didn't know
he had some issues, I want to say, and hopefully this season, now that he's healthy, or seems to be healthy, he can start off strong and keep that momentum going. Because man, once he gets going, he is he's like in my opinion another Marshawn Lynch. Because like he's breaking tackles and he's trucking through people.
And he almost like looks for the contact.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is scary as like if you're a defensive back, like he wants to hit me.
But CJ's great. I love what I've seen of Booker so far. I think that was a great draft choice. I think Hillman's in trouble.
I think they should cut Hillman, honestly, just to kind of get him out of there. Like,
yeah, I mean I think he could be great in other systems, but like I think we're a very power running heavy team. He's not a power runner.
No, and he has a problem with holding on to the ball.
Yeah, and he's one of those that he has to get a big hole and he'll cut. I mean, he's fast. He's one of the he's probably the fastest running back we have, but he's
gets
small.
In the open field. He's great.
He's not a trucker. And I'm also a fan of Capri Bibbs because I've loved him since he played for CSU, and I think he could do some great stuff. So I like Hillman, but I'd probably choose Anderson, Booker, and Bibbs over him.
Gotcha.
And Thompson as the fullback.
Gotcha. So back to Sanchez really quick. You said you don't want to cut. What are your thoughts if they try to trade him to somewhere and pick up another?
If they were to trade him, I like to see him go to the Vikings. Give him a shot where he could be the QB, starter. And they're in need. It's
a lot of pressure, though.
Yeah, that is a lot of pressure. I don't know. If we can get a good deal for him, go for it. Ultimately, I don't know. I'm not a coach. I don't know what's best for the team.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what the Broncos can get for him, I guess. I just don't think it's worth it. I think it's worth to keep on a veteran QB, at least in some capacity.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the rest of the league has seen what the Broncos have seen, and they're like, well, if the Broncos don't want him, they're willing to put this second-year guy in front of him. Why should we take him? And there's not a whole lot of teams that are desperate like the Vikings. Vikings are desperate, I would say. But yeah, I was really hoping that in the offseason the Broncos would have made a push for Fitzpatrick or even a trade for Josh McGowan from Cleveland. Both veterans that are both, they understand. They're like, all right, I'm not going to. Fitzpatrick had a starting job and he was kind of holding out for the money, so I understand his point. But McGowan, I think the Browns were very much like, no, we want to keep him for good reason, because from what I've heard from McGowan, he's very good at coaching up the younger guys. Really worked hard to try and help out Johnny Manziel when he was there. And unfortunately, Johnny Manziel has his own stuff. But yeah, I thought he would have been a great guy in the Broncos locker room. And when he played the Broncos, he played fairly well.
Yeah, I mean that game was closer than
need be.
It definitely was closer than I thought it would have been.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, the Broncos defense just kind of opened up the pressure more and more throughout the game, and as the game went on, he just kind of got suffocated out of it. But yeah, I thought he played well last year, and I think he would do good in a system like the Broncos, where they're more run heavy, and he just has to make certain decisions every now and then, and I thought he was a good decision maker. So yeah, I kind of wish the Broncos would have got McGowan.
Okay.
But yeah, I understand your point with Sanchez. I think it's just a money thing right now.
Yeah.
That they know they can open up some cap space if they get rid of Sanchez.
But I mean, they also just opened up more cap space by cutting Colquitt.
That's true. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I'm sad to see him go because he's done some great stuff for us. But I get it. He's third highest paid punter in the league.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to be a situation like what happened with Prater, when everyone was shocked that they cut Prater, and they're like, "Whoa, what are they cutting this guy for?"
Then he dipped,
and then he just dipped out. And I think Colquitt's going to get picked up by someone.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'll have that dip quite yet.
Yeah.
But I think maybe 1 or 2 more years, and then that dip hits.
I mean, he'll probably retire soon.
Yeah.
8 years in the league, or at least 8 years with us. I can't remember if he was on a team before us or not, but I mean, he's had a long career. He's been with us forever. And I like the new guy. I can't remember his name right now, but I like him. He's a pretty good punter.
Yeah, and the big thing with that was like in debate with him for a while was the holding. McManus said he didn't like the new guy's hold, and that's why McManus said he missed the field goals. But, which if anyone's seen Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, the hold means everything.
Oh man, so, that could change everything.
Yeah, don't let Dan Marino hold the ball.
No.
So yeah, that was like a big debate I heard. I don't know. I'm not in the Broncos game, so
not there.
I'm not there, unfortunately. So, but yeah, it's good to know they kind of got it figured out. So
yeah, I'm excited for this season. I think it'll be a good one. I'm expecting hopefully a playoff.
Oh yeah,
playoff berth, because I don't see. I mean, the rest of our division is. I can see us winning our division, AFC West.
A lot of people are saying the Raiders are going to blow up, and I see how people are coming to that conclusion. I just don't think they have. They got a whole lot of new people this last year, and I think they're going to have a little power struggle for a while. Well, not necessarily power struggle, but just kind of tough figuring out all those pieces.
Yeah,
and where they all fit.
I definitely think
puzzle.
they'll kind of step up, and I think they'll overtake the Chiefs in terms of the second place in the AFC West. But I don't think they're quite there yet to be number one.
Yeah.
And every season, Chiefs fans say, "This is our year. We're gonna overtake. We're gonna win," and they always crap out, and they always screw up somehow.
Somehow, right at the end. Even though last year was kind of weird because they went on that like a 10-game win streak, and then lose to the Patriots in the playoffs. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the Chiefs. They always seem to find a way.
They'll find a way. Yeah. I'm not worried about the Chiefs.
Yeah. So yeah, I see the Broncos still having a pretty decent year without Peyton.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do think they'll win the division, and I think they'll still be at least a 10-win team. So
hopefully.
They do have a tough schedule, particularly in the first couple games.
Yeah, the first couple ones will be tough.
Yeah, and like that's tough if you're Simeon. Like going into those first I think they start off with Carolina, and then I think Colts. I know they have Colts. Is that
the second one is Colts, and the third one I want to say is Bengals. At Cincinnati.
And then I think they have the Chiefs right after that.
I want to say it's the Chargers.
You know what? We got phones here.
Yeah, we've got the technology. Yeah, they have a pretty tough schedule at the beginning, but then after that they have a decent break where it goes. I want to say Chargers, Falcons, Buccaneers are in there somewhere.
Yeah, so it goes Panthers, Colts, Bengals, Buccaneers, Falcons, then Chargers, Texans,
Chargers again.
Raiders, Saints, Chiefs, Jaguars, Titans, Patriots, Chiefs, and then Raiders. So, yeah, I think they'll still.
They should do well, and man, am I excited for that Texans game.
Oh yeah.
I just want to see Vaughn destroy Brock. I'm bitter. I am still upset that he left.
Yeah, chasing the money.
Yeah, screwing us over. Because man, if he had stayed, this season I think would have been. We would have had high expectations for this season if he had stayed.
Yeah. I don't know. I hear he's not doing amazing in Texans camp.
It's true.
So
but I feel like if he had stayed, knows the players, knows the playbook, he had a better chance. But hey, he wanted the money, so
I can't blame him.
I mean, $72 million. That's hard to turn down.
Finally saw that Concussion movie. Also, forgot to mention that in our movies. It wasn't great.
Okay.
Will Smith does an amazing job.
Yeah. But he's a fantastic actor. So
yeah. And actually, going back to the Oscars, I would have rather seen him in like the Best Actor category than Matt Damon. But that's a different conversation. But yeah, as the movie, it just it was a very like tell you, don't show you thing.
Yeah.
It was very just like we're gonna just exposition, and it wasn't a whole lot of finesse.
Yeah.
It wasn't a whole lot of like cinematic moments. It was just using film as a platform to tell that story, which I understand is a good way to like get that word out and whatnot, and very good message. But anyway, my point with concussion is that according to that movie, everyone that plays football is going to get a concussion at some point. And so I understand from players thinking like, all right, I don't know how long I have in this game. One hit can do it.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Welker or like Joe Theismann.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I understand players chasing the money.
Yeah. I can't.
It's heartbreaking in a situation like that, though.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, you wanna try and lead us back to another Super Bowl, and he's like, nah.
Yeah, exactly. Putting all our stock in it. But speaking of quarterbacks and disappointment, Vikings.
Oh man,
that is heartbreaking.
I heard there's a video out there, and I haven't been able to find it yet. I haven't looked very hard either, because I'm kind of afraid to watch it. But yeah, for anyone who hasn't heard about this yet, but in practice, a non-hitting practice.
Yeah, last practice of the preseason.
Yeah, quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, who up and coming.
Really, has been playing
good.
Great this preseason.
Yeah,
played great last season.
Before this happened, I had the Vikings winning that division over the Packers, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I thought this was aimed to be a great year for the Vikings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought they were going to be a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
And this just kind of derails the season for them. Hopefully they can figure it out.
Yeah, because Bridgewater, non-contact drill, tears ACL.
Yeah.
Dislocates his knee.
Oh, man.
Heard he actually had the possibility of losing his leg from it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my
I don't know how, but I heard
just
read
that
that
bad of an injury going on. Oh my goodness.
So
and like players were just visually, vocally upset. People were like throwing their helmets around. Players were just vomiting at the sight of it and stuff. And they canceled practice for it, and they're like, we can't continue. Like as an organization, we can't continue after this happens. So heartbreaking from Vikings camp there.
Yeah.
And yeah, just kind of season derailer.
Like, yeah, it sucks. Mm-hmm. I have some of my family out in California. My uncle's from Minnesota, so they're all Vikings fans. So I've always kind of cheered for them.
Mm-hmm. They've always been a team that I've never had ill will towards. Yeah. There was a Brett Favre game against the 49ers where Brett Favre threw a touchdown in the last second that really pissed me off. Outside of that, the Vikings have been
That's
fine.
Just Brett.
Yeah, that's against Brett, all right?
Yeah, so, I'm really bummed. I was really hoping to see them kind of have a really good year. Yeah. And finally become great again.
Me too. And yeah, I don't think they'll be, like, they're not going to be worst team in the league.
No, I don't think they're going to pull a Cowboys last season where once they lost Romo, they derailed completely.
Freaking Cowboys. Cowboys deserve it.
Yeah. Can't stand
That's a team I don't really like. I do like Ezekiel Elliott, and he has looked great in preseason. Yeah. Definitely a big fantasy player I'm going to be looking for.
Yeah.
But enough about the Cowboys. Hopefully, like, Vikings still have a great defense. Still got Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, AP.
Who's still...
Purple Jesus, you can't beat.
Purple Jesus.
You can't beat Purple Jesus.
I just kind of hope they find a quarterback. Maybe it's someone like Sanchez. Maybe
Ponder. Maybe he goes back.
Maybe he goes
Minnesota.
Back. Yeah. Maybe there's a chance Kaepernick might be off the 49ers team at some point. Yeah. Not due to a whole sitting thing.
No.
Let's get that straight. Like, the 49ers, a lot of the players are very supportive of him. Chip Kelly supports him. And I don't think a lot of people are saying, sorry, there's a shift to the 49ers.
No, I actually do want to talk about this topic.
So I'll start with just 49ers football. After the Broncos game, I got a lot of big hopes. I was like, wow, they looked a lot better than I thought they were. I didn't see the whole Texans game. And then I saw the second half of the game against the Packers, and they just couldn't move the ball.
Yeah.
Defense was playing okay, and they just, like, once the third stringers got in, Green Bay was just deeper on offense than 49ers were on defense.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of opened up that hole. But, again, like, going back to, like, when the starters for the 49ers were in with the Broncos, when the starters left, it was 7-7. I am holding on to that. And when the starters left against the Packers, it was 7-7. So I am holding on to that. Do I think that'll last?
They can at least get a touchdown.
They can at least keep up. All right. So I do still think they'll be around 5 to 7 wins. Mm-hmm. But I used to think they were going to be around 3 to 5. So it has gone up. I think they're going to win a few more.
Good.
So yeah, I have more hope in the 49ers. I wouldn't be completely upset if they have a horrible season and go and get, like, I don't know, Deshaun Watson from Clemson, or
Maybe
they get a really good quarterback
Christian
in the draft.
McCaffrey?
Christian McCaffrey, someone to really boost their team. I think they need a quarterback more than a running back.
Yeah.
Carlos Hyde is a stud, I think. They got a lot of good defensive players. Navarro Bowman, I think, is still one of the best linebackers in the league. I think best middle linebacker in the league, and that's a big claim, everyone, with like people like Clay Matthews and Luke Kuechly and guys like that. Von Miller's an outside, well, not necessarily an outside linebacker, but he's more of an edge rusher than anything. So yeah, but yeah, Eric Reed, guy that got a pick 6 against the Broncos, really good safety. So they got a lot of pieces. I just think they need a really strong quarterback, and I wish Blaine Gabbert or Colin Kaepernick were that, and I think at one point either of them could have been, but I just don't think now that they are. I do think Kaepernick stays on the team. There's been a lot of talk, especially since this whole sitting and during the national anthem. For those that don't know, Kaepernick has been for the preseason sitting during the national anthem as a
protest.
Yes, thank you. I was going to say revolt. He's revolting.
Revolution.
He's been sitting as a protest, saying that he's not going to stand for a flag that represents a country that doesn't treat everyone fairly, talking about minorities, going along with organizations like Black Lives Matter, which is a big topic in America right now, big subject of racism in America. I think sexism is still a big thing in America too. That's a whole political subject we can talk on. Shad's trying to play footsies with me over here.
Sorry.
By the way. Both feet and hand here. He's getting to me somehow.
I will be on top of you.
I will at some point. I'm sad we don't have the video still. But yeah, I think Kaepernick stays because Kaepernick hasn't been able to play very much so far, and it's not like they're going to lose a whole lot of money by keeping Kaepernick. He already got his guaranteed money. So I think just keep him on the roster just in case. Blaine Gabbert's not a given. And then maybe even keep the competition going throughout the season.
They go back and forth.
Yeah. And then I think they got another guy, Driscoll, they drafted, and I think they keep Driscoll also.
Yeah.
And then cut Ponder. But yeah. I still do like the idea of the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's getting ridiculously political. So.
Yeah. I love the idea. I think, I like the idea of celebrating the best of the best, but it's just, I feel like the best of the best aren't being recognized.
Yeah, it's very...
Stallone got robbed, man!
Oh, man, yeah. DiCaprio finally got justice.
Finally got it.
Yeah.
But I don't even think that's the role he should have gotten it for, I think he should have gotten it way beforehand.
Well, yeah, but... It's not that.
Not saying the role wasn't incredible.
Well, at this point, it wasn't that, that was his best role. It was just, he needs it.
Yeah, it's time we gave him.
This is, we have wronged him enough.
Maybe one day Nolan will get that best director.
Maybe Dunkirk is the one that get it.
Okay, speaking of which, that trailer was great. I loved that trailer.
Yeah, I saw it in a theater, and, I forget I think Suicide Squad?
Yeah, it showed before Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, that's incredible. As I was
it tells you nothing, but it's so great.
Yeah, and that whole ending sequence where you hear just the
planes coming and
they're all looking up. Yeah. But yeah, everyone in the theater, it felt besides me, I literally heard someone what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
What? Everyone's
great.
No, that looks stupid. And I was like, what? No, give people
yeah. Shut up! Yeah. All of you shut up! Yeah. Well, to end on another anecdote like that, because we are 20 minutes over our usual time.
Yeah, it was good reason.
Yeah,
right,
good
people?
reason.
Everyone's like, no, shut up.
They turned us off.
Yeah. No one's listening at this point.
They stopped at the night of. But, that reminds me when I went and saw the first Transformers movie in theaters. I was 8th grade. Me and my friends went, and that was the movie that the first trailer for Cloverfield premiered. Oh, and that was before it even had a title. And it was J.J. Abrams at his peak mystery. And it was just this found footage of these people at a party, and all of a sudden the fucking head of the Statue of Liberty comes flying down the street. And you don't know what happens. It just shows all that, ends with the head landing right in front of him, and just cuts to the release date, and that's it. And so after it plays, the theater's just silent. And all of a sudden, just hear this one guy go, "What the fuck was that?" that? And like left the theater. He just walked out for a good like 10 minutes because he like calmed down from
It was
it.
like, oh, what just happened? Yeah.
Oh, another anecdote. Sorry, I gotta share this one.
Yeah, we might as well
Second
keep going,
Transformers.
yeah.
Went up to the midnight premiere of that one. Before it was a preview for Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince, which, spoiler, Dumbledore dies at the end of.
What?
Yeah, and so the trailer played, the title sequence was up, and after it stops and it's silent, someone like down in the front just goes, Dumbledore dies! And then this person just goes, oh, come on, you motherfucker, fuck you! And just got super upset. And just started freaking out at that. And you just see a bunch of other people who are just more quietly, like, putting their hands up, like, oh, come on! Like, we had to say that.
Yeah. Oh,
And
man.
luckily I'd read the book, so I didn't care. And I was
so
just
you
dying
did,
back.
oh,
And I was
my
like,
goodness.
ha
That is so funny.
So good. Oh, man.
Yeah, I had a couple moments in UNC film school, Shane. Not as prestigious as DU film school.
Well, we are.
Well, first of
Cream of
all,
the crop.
UNC film school is film analysis school. So we learn to analyze movies and judge them. Whereas like other film schools, they teach you how to make them, which is what I preferred. But yeah, we watched 2001: A Space Odyssey, and during the screening, first of all, no one went to the screenings. It was always just like 3 people out of like a 20-person class that went to them, because you can get movies everywhere now.
Yeah.
And I owned most of these movies, but I went to that screening because it was just convenient for me to go, and I love 2001: A Space Odyssey, so any chance to see it on a bigger screen, I do. And yeah, as soon as it ended, one of the kids in the front, who clearly just taken the class to get like an elective, just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, the same thing happened with The Master. Saw that one in theaters. And this was actually my dad that did it this time. But yeah, I took him to that movie because I was like, guys, I think it's going to be really good. My parents aren't like artsy movie buffs. They usually don't like them. The one they did like was Birdman.
Okay.
And that was a little more like mainstream than most artsy movies are. I was took him to like Tree of Life and stuff. So The Master gets over, and The Master is a very like deep, like heavy artsy movie,
Obscure story.
Yeah, very obscure movie. And so right as it ends, my dad leans over and he's like, what was that about? Like, what happened? I understand it was great acting, but what was happening?
Do you remember when you saw Predators?
Yes.
And the soda flying down and hitting the guy?
Oh, yeah.
I'll just tell you something about that. So, we went and saw the movie Predators way long ago.
Yeah, Adrian Brody.
Film. Top of his game.
Class, yeah.
We're sitting in the theater, waiting for the movie to start, and this is when AMC did like the like trivia and stuff beforehand. So everyone's watching that, and someone's throwing freaking like nerds down to the audience, and it's like, it's annoying, but whatever.
Yeah, like in the top row, thrown to like the lower section. Yeah.
So previews start, and I want to say it's like a Resident Evil movie trailer, and out of nowhere,
I remember that.
this like blob, this dark mass appears above us, and we look up and we realize it's a freaking extra large like jumbo soda, full of soda. It comes flying down through the air, nails this guy, this huge like wearing a wife beater, like gangster looking dude, nails him in the back of his shaved head.
Oh man, it was
drenches
so
him in soda, and he stands up and he turns around and threatens the entire theater, like, which one of you motherfuckers, dude? I want to beat the shit out of you. Show yourself, you piece of shit, and just like screaming at everyone, and we're trying not to laugh because it's
Shane and I were,
hilarious.
like high schoolers,
Yeah,
and
like,
with a couple other high school buddies, just like,
oh
my
god, that was
so
really
funny.
funny. I don't want to die. And so he's like freaking out at everyone, storms out of the theater. Everyone finally just starts to chuckle a little bit about it. Then he comes in with the employee of AMC, and
No, they're just like high schoolers.
yeah, and she just comes in, she's like, whoever did that, please don't do it again, or we're gonna escort you out and not refund your ticket. Really great punishment you should have showed them. So that was when we almost died in the theater. But on that note, we should probably wrap this up. We're going on an hour and 20 minutes now.
Quite, oh yeah, we are.
But thanks for listening this week. Hope you guys enjoy it. Sorry for the video difficulties. I'll make sure to clear up my memory card next time we're about to film this.
Yeah. So
One day we'll get it right.
This is probably audio only.
Yeah.
For people.
For most of it, I'll have the video going and then just have.
And just finish up with the audio.
Finish something when it cuts out.
No one's watching past that.
No one cares.
No one cares after that. Yeah. In the meantime, Shane, are you working on anything, film-wise, theater-wise, acting-wise?
Well, we got Miracle Worker 3 coming out.
Yes.
Just
about that.
Actually, just got another movie deal for this year.
Oh.
Gonna be doing another movie out in California. I'll be writing that. Thank you. Working on the feature film still.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To be put into production. So I got a lot of movie things going on, actually.
Oh, is it the different movie thing than the... So you got a different movie other than the guy you did the shorts with?
Well, it's still him. He's...
Okay.
So, both are related to him. One is that mental health one I've been telling you about.
Yes.
I'm going to finish that, and it's going to be at the school again, like it was with the short films, but a longer one. Don't know if it'll be a feature film, but it'll just be like one longer film rather than a short.
Gotcha.
And then... We're also, because he has a production company, we're also going to be expanding the horror movie that I made, the short film, into a feature film.
Oh, which horror movie?
Boogie, it's called.
Boogie, okay.
Yeah. So that'll be actually like, hopefully at festivals, theaters, stuff like that.
Congratulations,
yes,
man. That is awesome.
Yeah. So, gotta actually write it, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean... It's your job right now, right? Yeah. So, little backstory on us for anyone that's watching this that doesn't know who we are. Shane and I, we met in high school.
Fell in love
Immediately. Shane was dating a friend of mine, and we met each other in that way. And our own love spurred.
That the other ones
phased out. Phased out real quick when I got into the picture, but yeah, so we acted in high school. We did improv in high school. Improv club was amazing. Shane is a working writer right now. Along with that, he is a fantastic director. He acts whenever he damn well pleases. And
I do what I can for the
does
public.
what he can, yeah. And I am actually a working actor right now, doing a lot of theater stuff here in Denver, Colorado. Trying to get my name into the film process, trying to get more into directing. I'm a pretty bad writer, so it's hard.
Hey now, it's not true.
But yeah, trying to get my name out in film. Both of us trying to get into the film, and we both love sports. So that's why we do a podcast about movies and sports. But yeah, where you can find more of my stuff, I recently did an extra job in a film called Amateur. That will be playing at Sundance. And
Amateur porn.
It's just called Amateur. Ryan Koo is directing it, and he I don't know what else he directed. But
great guy though.
I hope he's really not listening to this or anyone attached to that project. So, we're cutting his scene immediately. But yeah, that movie's gonna be on Netflix. And then I'm in a play right now, Importance of Being Earnest, at the Broomfield Auditorium, playing September 10th and 11th. And then right after that, I will be in a play called Wait Until Dark down at Avenue Theater in Denver, Colorado.
Can you tell us about vampires?
Wait Until Dark?
Yeah.
No, it's like a murder mystery. Yeah. And that'll be playing like the whole month of October, essentially.
Okay.
So... yeah, come check those out.
If you want to see any of my stuff, I guess. I'm on Vimeo. I think I'm just called Shane Black. I'll put a link in the video description. That's more of my I don't want to say artistic, but more serious taking. I got a lot of stuff from when I was in school and film, and a short film Zane and I made called Nothing, along with some of our friends.
Oh, yeah.
It's also on YouTube. Just look up Shane Black. Actually, I think it might be Shane Jensen Black now. And there's also if you want to see the Miracle Worker films, if you type in Shane Saw of War, made that account name long time ago, so don't judge me for it. I believe that it's on there. Check us out. We have a lot of weird stuff we put up on the internet.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. Also some serious stuff. And, yeah. Other than that, I don't have anything actually out in theaters or anything like that.
Yeah, and if you want to catch any stuff I have done, I'm just Zane Garcia on YouTube. You're gonna find a lot of these like birthday videos I did for people. That's just slideshows to music and pictures of them. So one of Shane here, probably my most well crafted one is Shane's. And then I know there's a stand up video. There's a couple auditions if you want to watch those. But I also directed a movie in college called Mark, and that is on a girl named Emily Ward's YouTube page. And she's got a lot of great work there too, so definitely go check her out as well. But yeah, other than that, that is.
I think that's it for the week.
Got coming up right an hour and a half. Yeah, an hour and a half. Sorry for going a little long, folks, but
hopefully you're sticking with us through all of it.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoy. We're not quite sure when we'll get the next one out. A week or 2 weeks is when we're getting them.
Yeah,
so.
We're just kind of going spontaneous. Also, we're probably going to be doing music at some point in these podcasts.
Yes, and if comics ever comes up, we'll do comics as well.
Because we're both avid fans of the band Brand New, and they will drop an album sometime.
Someday
once that
they're
happens,
gonna do it.
We will talk about it because that is going to be big. So, on that note, thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Dicks.